welcome back to the show floor here at .local London for what is actually the final time. We're pretty much done, Luce.
We are. It's flown by.
It has. It's gone really quickly. 20-odd, 10-minute sessions with guests and different hosts and stuff. How was it for you?
Busy, but really enjoyable. There's been a lot of interesting conversations, hasn't there? And we've learned so many different things about things we're releasing that we can talk about now.
It is always good. Yeah, it's a bit of an embargo that we can't talk about these things. And then, they get short mention, as I said, on the keynotes. But it was great to dive down in with most of the people who were presenting the detailed slots later on today. You had some of the champions up as well, too. How did that go?
It was good. So I only spoke to one champion, but it was great. And our community champions are some of my favorite parts of MongoDB because obviously they're external and they're choosing to use their time to do amazing things and advocate for us. So I love giving them a platform to not only hear the stories, the amazing things that they achieve, but also just, talk about what they've done and give an opportunity to hear about it. Because the interview I did with Nilesh, she was talking about some benchmarking he did for a POC where he replaced Elasticsearch with Atlas Search. And all these delays that were fixed and these requests per second, he could do so much better than MongoDB. And it just blew my mind. I was like, wow, we need to write about this and tell people.
I know, it's brilliant. And for me in particular, as I was saying to a couple of the guests, I'm in awe of the people who build MongoDB. We use MongoDB in development.
Yes.
We use MongoDB as developers. But it's another level altogether. The people who are building the underhood infrastructure and at the scale that they do it with the performance and the resiliency and everything that's here mentioned in that 8.0, right?
Oh, yeah. And I'm with you. I'm in awe of so many different parts of the business, to be honest, because everyone plays a part. Like you say, the engineers that build these things and find these amazing performance improvements, or the people in the product side of it who just have this incredible vision and imagination to do all these things. And so, like you say, we sort of use MongoDB a little bit as developers day to day. Like I write code samples. And so lots of the tools that we've learned about today, like the IntelliJ plugin and the VS Code Copilot extension, all of that makes my life easier. But I don't always think of these things until someone goes, oh, we've got this new product or feature right now that you can use. And I'm like, oh, I love this.
Yeah, I know, it's astounding what they keep producing. And with all of the, the .locals we're doing around the world, the kind of stream of announcements that we have, each of them. Like at all of them, there's something new. It used to be a 1 or 2 times a year affair and we dropped everything. But now it's like we're dripping everything out over the course of the year. And as per some of the guests, I was saying, well, 8.0 is out. They're already working on the next version. They have been for a long time, so it never ends. What we saw on the keynote, I don't know, I had to write it down with stream processing, Atlas CLI local experience, VS Copilot, you mentioned, integration, IntelliJ, a lot of the Gen AI stuff, more the vector search, quantization there as well too, a little bit of the details of our map program. And then really interesting is the app modernization, taking the relational migrator and everything else that was involved in that and showcasing how that helps developers, do less of the mundane work, how that helps them take their legacy applications and bring them right up to speed.
Absolutely. And as in the interview that I just did with Jeff and Luca from our industry solutions teams, they were talking about how they've used AI and as part of an app modernization in the insurance industry, and about how not just from a customers on the website perspective, but from the perspective of the actual agents at the insurance company, the way that so much time can be saved by having all these features available to them in their product. So, yeah, and they were saying that databases, a lot of them historically relational database, tabular databases are kind of bursting at the seams. So by having all these app modernization things, you can start to move over. And like I say, relational migrator, I did a showcase demo this morning of developer tooling.
Yeah.
And one of the things I showed off was relational migrator. And some people hadn't even heard of it. And I think there's quite a few people in the room suddenly desperately scribbling, just like, this thing's amazing. And I was just using, when you open relational migrator, you can create a project where you can do it in different ways, either to a live database or importing a file, or you can actually do it with some sample schemas. So if you don't have anything yet, or you don't want to start messing with your data, you can just get
test the water.
Yeah, just test it out, try it out, and you can recommend schemas to you. You can visualize the schema. It can make some suggestions. You can edit it as you go. And that's relational migration in terms of the history of MongoDB is quite a new product, and it already does so many amazing things. So, like you say, we've only just released 8.0. We're already starting on 9.0. I don't even know any secrets I can tease you. Like, I don't know anything, but it excites me, all the things that we're going to do coming up in the next year or more. And all, like you say, drip feed over the course of different .locals and just help developers and developer efficiency and developer productivity and just make life easier. Because, as I say, I write code day to day, and if I can have a bit of fun making my life easier, amazing.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think Sahir started off with developer accelerations, and that's what it's all about, is making developers' lives easier, more productive, making kind of, I suppose, them just concentrate on the skills that they have, creating the best applications and taking away all of the, as I said earlier, the mundane pieces. I suppose above all, obviously, our key announcement today was the general availability of 8.0. As Sahir said, it's the best version of our database with the resilience and the scalability and the security and the performance. And so that's the key takeaway. Do check that out. It's available. Check out all the other products. I know, for one, I'm going to have to watch some of I hate watching myself back, but I'm going to have to watch some of the live stream to catch up on all of the bits and pieces that we might have missed. We are nearly done here in London. Not quite. We still have an amazing AI build together for 2 hours later on, where we're getting anybody who's interested in creating generative AI applications really in a brainstorming session. So it's like it's a post-it in paper and wall type exercise scenario. So if you are here and you want to join that, by all means do. There's also a small matter of the happy hour that's...
Well, we know where you'll be.
going on behind us. So hence the noise is picked up in the room somewhat. But we aren't done with .locals yet. We still have 3 to go.
Yeah, we have quite a few.
So we got Sao Paulo in Brazil. That's in October 30th. Paris in November, the 19th of November. And the last one is Stockholm towards the end of November on the 26th. So if you're joining us live and you've been on LinkedIn earlier and YouTube with us during the day, if you happen to be based near any of those cities, do try and come along. It's, might be a smaller version of what you go here, but you're going to see the same access to experts, to great keynote sessions, and great learning with all of our key product managers and everybody else who's presenting, and as well as the ability to network with other developers. Definitely do try and do that. I think we're nearly done. I think we got to say, I'd like to say thanks to you, Luce, and the other hosts as well, too. Last year, I had to mostly do this stream all on my own due to poor Mike Lynn getting COVID, so he couldn't travel. So for you, Harshit, Matt, and Mark as well, too, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
Thanks to Jesse and Pedro, who did a lot of the backroom work to make all of this happen and all of the organizing, and they've been diligently been on in the early hours US time, helping us out as well too. And I'd also like to thank Enda and the ITC team who make this all run so smoothly and make us all look so good, despite a minimal hair and makeup budget here on this side of the desk. But above all, thank you to all our viewers for joining us throughout the day. Do remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Obviously, got to get the call in.
Absolutely.
Follow us on LinkedIn, because that's where most of these announcements go out as well too. Luce, Richmond, myself, Jesse, Pavel, and others live stream very regularly. So if you do like and subscribe and do follow us, you'll get the notifications for the other live streams that we do, right?
Absolutely. And I think we're going to have some of the great guests from today come on as well later to do some even longer segments.
Yeah, I think I've twisted most of their arms to take more than 10 minutes to explain it to us. So look, from the show floor here at .local London, I think that's all. So from me, Shane McAllister.
From me, Luce Carter.
Thank you all, and everyone at MongoDB here. Thank you all for joining us. We really had a great day. We have a lot to absorb, but right now, happy hour's kicking off. That's where I'm headed. Take care.